Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another fragrance first impression on a fragrance from Diptyque, and it's Do Son. This is supposed to be a tuberose, musky, unisex fragrance, and as you guys know I love white florals, so I'm really excited to get my nose on this. So yeah, let's go. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar about how these fragrance first impression videos work, let me just give you a quick rundown. I have a fragrance I have usually never tried before. In most cases, I've at least never put it on my skin. This one I've smelled before in other people and in a shop, but it's never touched my skin before. And so what I do is I spray it on my skin and I give you a first impression of the opening. And then I'll come back after how long I think it takes to start drying down, usually around 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's longer, and I'll give you my first impressions of the dry down. Now I know to give a review of this fragrance and to give it its due justice, I need to wear it a few times to be able to tell you about how I think of the projection and the longevity. You really can't do a good job of that wearing it once. So what I'll do is I'll wear this throughout the week. Usually I'll wear through the entire sample. And next week I'll give you a little mini review of that fragrance. So the mini review of this fragrance will be next week, which means today I'm going to give you a mini review of last week's fragrance, which was Prada Candy Floral. It's the flanker to Prada Candy. So yeah, let's jump into the review. Now I've noticed on some different forums and sites, some people say this is unisex, some people say this is just completely feminine because it's very floral. The notes in this are tuberose, orange tree leaves, rose, berries, and musk. It depends to me, I'm not sure. I've smelled this before. To me it pulls very sweet, but it's not a sweetness that I find to be too feminine. I do think that this is more of a unisex fragrance, especially for the people who like to wear florals. It's not like a crazy, juvenile, ultra sweet tuberose fragrance from what I've sampled before, but I'm not going to get too into that because I kind of want to get into that when I wear it. So here's the sample, and I'm going to spritz it. I'm not wearing anything else, as you guys know, and I'm going to give it that 20 seconds to kind of settle on my skin, and I'll give you my thoughts on the opening. Now, Do Son is how I'm pronouncing this, but if I am incorrect, feel free to always educate me and correct me. This has been on my skin for about 15-20 seconds, and I can tell you right now, I am just getting tuberose on my skin with like a touch of like berries, like that kind of like really sweet jammy sweetness. It's almost like honey, but it's not. I think the winner of this is going to be when the rose and the green leaves kind of kick in. Generally when it comes down to white floral fragrances, I kind of like to let them set on my skin for a decent amount of time, just to let them kind of like settle down and marry with the other notes. They can be really strong in the opening. So I'm going to come back in about 45 minutes and let you guys know what I think of this at the dry down. Hi guys, it's been about a little over 45 minutes, like maybe 47, and I'm ready to let you guys know what I think about the dry down of this fragrance. Again, I've smelled this on strips, I've smelled this on other people, so I do have a little bit of experience with this fragrance. But when it comes to my skin, I know that my skin can pull notes a little bit differently. And I was really looking forward to seeing when the green or the orange leaves came out, and also a little bit when the musk came out. I kind of was hoping that would cut through the tuberose a little bit. Not because I don't like a very heavy tuberose fragrances, but when you see those different notes in there, you kind of want to see the balance or the beauty that they can be worked together. If you see tuberose and coconut and vanilla and like honey and musk, you expect something tropical. When I see like musk and green and floral, I kind of expect it to be a more muted tuberose fragrance. And that's kind of like what I was hoping with this one. On other people, I get a very heavy tuberose with rose with a little bit of the green notes. So I'm kind of interested to see how it played on my skin. So I've tried not to sniff it too much because I definitely wanted to see the contrast and the difference, or if there is a contrast. So let's see. Okay. There's definitely a difference. Definitely a difference. The tuberose is down, like it's gone way more muted. It's still the most predominant note. I'm getting a little bit of rose. The berries have kind of calmed down a little bit, which is nice actually. They were making the tuberose very sweet, And although I do love a really sweet tuberose fragrance, when I saw the orange leaves and the musk and the rose, I was kind of hoping for something not so sweet and a little bit more kind of balanced. And I'm definitely getting a better balance now. Yes. It's definitely there. There's not much of a green note as there is a slight bitterness underneath the tuberose, but I'm definitely getting tuberose, then rose, and then a little bit of the musk. It's kind of, I'm trying to find a way to describe this. It's not like an aqua fragrance, but there's something about it that's making this very light and kind of somewhat sheer, while still having the beauty and the headiness of the tuberose. It's not very indolic. It's more of a fresh tuberose. This kind of feels like a tuberose you put in your house and how it makes your whole house smell, rather than like something that's like a tuberose fragrance that's maybe it's a little bit overripe, maybe it's really heavy or musky. Now sometimes with musk and white florals, to my nose, they can feel a little bit dated. That was one of the concerns I had when I was looking at this nose, but I think there's just the right amount of musk in this to kind of give this a nice sheer, almost like water, like texture, like feeling to this, very sheer, sitting on the skin, very light, which is nice, without it being too dated or too kind of heavy, which musk can do to white florals. So I'm really liking the way this is playing on my skin. I think my skin's pulling a little bit more of the rose than the green leaves and the musk, but I feel that's like a perfect balance for this fragrance. So I'm really excited to wear this more. I like Diptyque. It's one of the brands or one of the houses I actually don't own any of, and that's saying something because I really like a lot of their fragrances. They're really good. I just never get around to purchasing any of them. I got this at Bloomies and I was there with my husband and I was thinking about picking up a few bottles, and he was just, my husband and I had this like kind of like agreement where I will not acquire any fragrances in his presence. He knows about my fragrances, you know, like we pay the bills together. It's not like anything's hidden from him. He's just like, I know you do it, you know I don't like it, just don't do it around me. And so I was like, I'm with him, I'm not gonna do this, but I might go back and get some more because they're really good. So anyway, this is actually sitting really nicely on my skin. I'm really enjoying it. I love white florals. I kind of like how it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit more sheer, effervescent. It's not very lush, which sometimes you can get. It's really nice, very clean tuberose fragrance. I'm really digging this. So far it's definitely a winner, but we'll let this sit on my skin and I'll wear it throughout the week. Most definitely be very excited to wear this throughout the week, and I'll let you guys know what I think about this next week. So now let's get into last week's fragrance, which is the flanker to Prada Candy Floral. Now the big difference between this fragrance and Prada Candy was the citrus aspect, the lemon sorbet. And this fragrance, to me in the beginning, it was alright, wasn't crazy good, but it was still really nice. Didn't get much of the Prada Candy DNA. I kind of thought it could stand on its own without being a Prada Candy flanker. But I actually found the more that I wore this fragrance, the more that I actually really liked it in the summertime. It just, the lemon and everything kind of just sat really nicely on my skin, and it was very effervescent and very bright and a very cheerful fragrance. So although I wasn't completely wowed by this fragrance, this wasn't a fragrance that I was turned off by anyway. So it's not a crazy inspiring fragrance. It wasn't something that was exciting, but there was just a beauty about it, specifically in the heat and the humidity. So I will say that it definitely gets probably a B+ when it comes down to just how it wore on my skin and my environment, and it did the job of just being very playful and effervescent and energetic, and there's just something really nice and pleasant about that fragrance. Now the longevity and the sillage is where we're going to get into a little bit of problems. It doesn't project at all, like at all on my skin. I thought it would kind of be more of a beast because Prada Candy is like really loud on my skin. This sat very close to my skin. It was almost completely intimate. My husband could kind of smell it if he was sitting next to me on the couch, but only if we were sitting like and our shoulders were touching. Like it wasn't crazy loud. And the longevity on this fragrance was pretty poor too. It was about 2 to 3 hours. So although it was a really nice fragrance to wear in the summertime, and as a fragrance, not about its performance, but just how it smelled and interacted with my environment, it's a B+, it definitely failed when it came to production and when it came to longevity. Now I know some people are like, I like a more intimate fragrance, and this one might be for you if that's the case, but when I'm looking for a daytime like light fragrance to counteract that light sheer kind of like dancing on the skin rather than sitting really heavy on the skin fragrance, you kind of want it to project a little bit more, because those are fragrances that are really pleasant to be around and to encounter when somebody else is wearing them. And when I was wearing this fragrance with the lemon and just how nice it was in the heat, I was like, this would be a great fragrance to wear if you're going out or if you're going to work, or, you know, like really good for like professional environments. But like, it just didn't last, and it just didn't have any projection. Like, I just kind of was lackluster in that department. So I'm not going to give it a passing grade, but I'm not going to give it a failing grade either. I think that maybe my skin was just eating this up, and maybe it just wasn't lasting on my skin like the other fragrances from the Prada candy line do. But I think it is definitely worth checking out and seeing, especially if you're looking for a very youthful, fun, refreshing, energizing fragrance that's just really sweet and nice. And I do think it's just a very charming little fragrance, but I kind of wish it performed better and lasted longer on my skin. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, guys, if you like my fragrance reviews and my fragrance videos and first impressions, remember to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this. And also don't forget to subscribe, because it's free and I'm free. And I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well. So I'll always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever. And I'll see you next time. Bye!